Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist and a licensed mental health counselor. Please like, share, subscribe if you enjoy the contents in this channel. This is for entertainment purpose only. I'd like to start by thanking all my subscribers, my viewers, all the people who leave me comments. I'm sorry I haven't got back to all of the comments, but I'm trying to get there. You have so many interesting thoughts that don't even sound like speculation. That proves that anything is possible in this case. And the reason I say anything is possible is there's no evidence up to today that Nicola fell in the river. We were told that Nicola fell in the river because the police came up with that hypothesis. For them to come up with that theory, I believe in only one thing. Either the police knew that Nicola, may she rest in peace, was a very vulnerable person, a very high-risk person, and that is the reason that there is so much speculation, thoughts in this case. We didn't get the whole truth, but I'm really sure that Nicola's family know the truth. Paul said in his interview that he has a very good relationship with the police, and that is important in any case. But the question is, how tight are you supposed to be in an investigation with the police? You're supposed to do everything right. If you're an honest person and you haven't done a crime, you would straight away say, I don't even need my lawyer. So it can be an advantage for Paul, definitely advantage for having a close contact with the police and a good relationship, but it can be a disadvantage for the case in case there's a third-party involvement. In every true crime case, we know that we have to follow the timeline. The timeline is what went wrong in many important cases that we are following up to today, like Precious Summer Moon Utewells, the 5-year-old girl who was reported missing in Tennessee. We saw how the timelines changed quickly. Candace Bly remembered her version. She told the police her version. Hunter, the 15-year-old boy, told the police his version with the help of Allison, his mother, and her best friend Leslie. We saw them having Mountain Dew and sitting and talking to Chris McDonald, who did an excellent job. Thank you, Chris. Then we saw Dawn Wells, who was supposed to be at work, mind you, who had all his stories and narratives to tell. He spoke for himself, and he was candid Candice Bly, his mouthpiece, up to today. Why has the case of Summer Moon, Wells, which is one of the most popular cases, and we've been there since day one, on the 15th of June 2021, when the endangerment alert was raised, and then 2 days later, on the 17th, the amber alert was raised for Summer Moon? What I'm trying to say is the Summer Moon Wells' case is one of the cases, and Orvin and Orson West, aka Sincere and Classic Pettis, that was the real names. May they rest in peace. My condolence to their mother and their biological fathers. And may justice be served in that case. But the reason I bring Orvin and Orson's case is a very good example of what Trezella and Jacqueline, the monsters, did. They said that their boys left the backyard in a hot desert in California City. We knew they were lying from the very first second they came out with those two big masks. But did you see how they changed the timeline and they said the boys were last seen on the 28th of December, the day they reported them? But now we're hearing in court that one of the boys, may he rest in peace, was last seen in September. And I believe I was watching it yesterday, and I believe they moved actually with one of the boys to California City, if I'm not wrong. But look at the timeline from September to December. So if a timeline changes, obviously deliberately, then everything changes. Then it's easy to change the witness, allegedly. It's easy to change everything. Now take for example, many of us live in big cities. So just say in London, New York, California, Paris, Rome, wherever, big cities, Scotland, like countries that have big cities, would usually have CCTV cameras working. Sometimes they don't. Because when somebody wants to deliberately do something criminal or wrong, what do? They put off the CCTV for a second or for 5 minutes. We've seen enough of movies, documentaries, 48 hours, all kind of true crimes cases has to have a timeline. And now coming back to Nicola Bulley's case, may she rest in peace, condolence to her family. Coming back to this case, the timeline has been changed. There was true press conference from Superintendent Sally Riley, and on both of them, she said 9:15. There was one that she slipped maybe and said 9:10. She said Nicola was last seen at 9:15 near the river Torpout, just like the posters say. That was what was written in the Facebook when Nicola went missing. The people organizing the search wrote it on the Facebook that they're going to conduct a search. Everyone go quickly. I swear that's what they wrote. Go. We need to find Nicola. She's last seen at 9:15. They even put posters up. So when did 9:15 from the river Tor part turn into 9:20? That the phone moved to the bench? The phone can't walk, doesn't have legs, so somebody put it obviously on the bench. Who's the person who put it? Where did they find it? In a missing case, I found out one thing in so many years of my life. Never believe anyone, not even your family. You don't know who has a motive, and you will be surprised what people would do. For money especially. I always believed in this case that the motive could be enviousness, DV, financial issues. So it's money. Follow the money. Follow the money is very important. This is something I came across from the beginning of the case, and many of you are aware of. Senior Superintendent Rebecca Smith works, she investigates in I don't know if I should say the word on YouTube, DRUGS. She's been cracking big cases and child abuse and many other cases. So I wonder, why was she put in charge of Nicola Bulley's case? Just a thought. Since we haven't got all the facts, as long as I'm mindful, luckily I'm not putting out any medical evidence, am I? Some people are very comfortable in putting that out. I'm sticking to the facts. That is the line of duty Senior Attendant, Superintendent Rebecca Smith works in. That's a line of duty. So, there's some kind of things going on behind the background for something to have happened to Nicola, that maybe Nicola wasn't involved? Could that be possible? Why was the case assigned to Senior Superintendent Rebecca Smith? And, mind you all, the case was assigned on the Monday after Nicola went missing. Nicola went missing on Friday. Why did it take 3 days? Because Nicola went missing early in the morning on Friday. It took 3 days to assign a senior superintendent. Is it because they had to go through maybe all their files? I'm just speculating. When they understood who Nicola was, maybe Nicola was a valuable witness. Just a question. Because if I'm not wrong, and correct me, law enforcement in the States, in other countries, and in the UK, I believe that the police officers work for different departments. Yes, they do. So I'm sure there's a department that works for missing cases. And when it leads to foul play, maybe the detective is a experienced detective who knows about foul play and everything, works in that department, but it could be possible that his expertise are in finding missing people. Does it make sense? Because look at the cases Rebecca Smith works on. You can go check that up on Google even. You can research that. I find that to be very strange. I found this clip, I think it's quite unseen, and it gives us an idea of this from the beginning when Nicola is reported missing. It is by Lancashire News. I think the reporter's name is Nicola too. Oh, I forgot her name, but let's see.
Let's get more on the very worrying story of Nicola Bulley. The 45-year-old mother of two was last seen walking her dog next to the River Wyre.
We can expect another day of intense police activity here in the village.
We'll be concentrating on this, the River Wyre, when the search teams return. Concentrating on this, the River Wyre, when the search teams return.
Picture of Nicola Bulley on the day of her disappearance has been shared by her friends. Video shows Nicola loading her car for the school run.
Caused a lot of concern in this area this morning as we are entering the fifth day.
45-year-old Nicola Bulley, who disappeared a week ago in Lancashire, has made an emotional plea for people to come forward with information.
This is the River Wyre in the village of St Michael's in Lancashire, a quiet village in an affluent area of the county, popular with dog walkers and visitors alike. It's beautiful around here, but this week this little area has become the centre of a national and international mystery. Mother of two, Nicola Bulley, who's 45, has gone missing. It's now more than a week since Nicola vanished, but where is she? Police have scoured the area. Local residents have been looking, desperate to find one of their own. But where can Nicola be? Her children are desperately waiting for her to come home.
So we're appealing for witnesses to come forward who may have been driving through St Michael's on Wyre at around 9:15 last Friday morning, 27th of January. If they have dash cam footage from around 9:15, please contact 101 and let us know. Likewise, this is an area popular with dog walkers and other people enjoying the lovely countryside. If they can also report any sightings that they had of Nicola.
January the 27th appears to have begun as a pretty normal Friday for Nicola Bulley, her partner Paul Ansell, and their two girls aged 9 and 6. The 45-year-old, a mortgage advisor who works largely from home in nearby Inskip, had dropped her girls off at the local school in the village at around 8:43 a.m. as usual. Leaving her car, then she took her family pet dog Willow for a walk along the banks of the River Wyre, something she did regularly, and she was a familiar face to many dog walkers in the fields adjacent to the waterside. At 8:47, she was spotted walking along the lower field by a fellow dog walker who knew her. Their dogs interacted briefly. Then at 8:53 a.m, Nicola sent an email to her boss, and at some point then she sent a message to her friend regarding a play date later in the week. At 9:01, she logged into a Microsoft Teams call on her phone. Then at around 9:10, another witness recognised her. She walked across the upper field with Willow. It is the 10 minutes that follow which remain critical in the search to find her. At 9:20 a.m, police inquiries suggest her phone was on a bench next to the river. Then at 9:30 a.m, the Teams call ended, but she remained logged on. Those 10 minutes are unaccounted for and remain critical to the inquiry. It was right here, on this bench, at 9:20 a.m. that morning, that Nicola's phone was found, and nearby her dog Willow. Since then, there's been no sign of Nicola. She has vanished, apparently into thin air, and the mystery remains. Where is Nicola Bulley? The quiet area became a hive of activity as police scoured every inch, bringing in Bowland and Pennine Mountain Rescue and specialist search teams, helicopters, divers with underwater drones and scanning equipment. Local residents, desperate to help one of their own, set up highly organised searches showing maps of local trails and urging volunteers to put their own safety first. In the first heart-rending press appeal, Nicola's family talked about being stuck in a nightmare. Her parents say she just vanished into thin air. Her dad, Ernie Bulley, said, "This has emptied our lives. We're such a close-knit family, we'd do anything for any one of us. I really hope she comes home." Nicola's sister, Louise Cunningham, said, "I'm just stuck in a nightmare going round in circles. People just don't vanish into thin air." Nicola's partner, Paul Ansell, said he was in perpetual hell as the search went on. Meanwhile, the country and world's media descended into an already tense situation in Lancashire. As speculation became rife, largely on social media, police remained adamant it remained a missing persons inquiry and that there was no third party or criminal involvement. During a press conference a week after Nicola vanished, police reiterated this message, stating they had no evidence of foul play, but said they were keeping an open mind about what happened. But they said their working hypothesis was that she'd fallen into the River Wyre. But the rumblings of discontent had begun at the line the investigation was taking, and it became a bone of contention from Nicola's family and friends. It is her sister, Louisa, who 1 week in starts to question the police stance, urging people to keep that open mind and describing the concept she had fallen into the river as simply a working theory. In a Facebook post, she said, "Off the back of the latest media update, can I add there's no evidence whatsoever she fell in the river. Not all CCTV and leads have been investigated fully. The police have confirmed the case is far from over." And friend Emma White told Sky News, "We are talking about a life. We can't base it on a hypothesis. Surely we need factual evidence. We still have no evidence, and that's why we're out here together in force. You don't base life on a hypothesis." Police confirmed that in addition to the missing 10 minutes, there was a black spot in the CCTV coverage. Although it has ruled out the possibility of Nicola leaving the park via the majority of its gates, the path leading to Garstang Road has no such coverage. Instead, they are focused on tracing witnesses. As of now, 3 appeals for individual witnesses have been made and they've all come forward and all been spoken to. But as the story of missing Nicola grips the world, family and friends have been determined to keep a hold on the narrative as social media becomes a hive of wild speculation. So what has happened to Nicola? As time ticks and 2 young girls wait for their mum to come home, we can only but hope there is still time for this story to have a happy ending, because surely she cannot have vanished into thin air.